I just kind of dumped a whole lot out there. I don't know if so that was on cleaning up the database. Here's what I would say. Here's
Yeah,
your fourth.
I'm like, hold on a second. I'm like, everybody is thinking to themselves right now. Well, number one, I'm blown away. Number two is I got some work to do. In the mind of most people, Brad, and I want you to speak about this for a second before we keep moving forward with this. They're gonna be like, where do I find the time to do this?
Yeah. I'm glad you asked that question so much. Here's the deal. The hardest thing you'll ever do is set it up the first time. You only have to set it up one time. Everybody else that you're feeding in goes on the same plan. So that's the hardest part. And what I say is write it out on a piece of paper. How many just draw dashes for how many touches you want. 8 times in 8 weeks, draw 8 dashes, add the 9th one and just write in there, start the next plan, right? And the first step is going to be what? Write a handwritten note. Now, where do I want my phone calls? 2 phone calls in there. So it's just obvious, put them in the middle, right? At 4 and 8, and then fill in the rest with whatever, whether it's a postcard, email, letter, doesn't matter, but mix the mediums up so they're not hitting all at once. Now, here's the cool, this is advanced, but I will copy that plan and do an all email plan in case I just have their email. And I'll copy that plan and do an all mail plan in case I just have their address, because sometimes that's the case too. So there's really 3 exact plans with mixed mediums or not. So, but anyway, where you start is writing it out on a piece of paper. You gotta write. So my 36 touch, I had to write 36 dashes, right? And I know there's 4 phone calls. So I just quartered the page, put call, right? And then in between that, I put the personal touch, either social media, email, it doesn't matter what the touch is, but it's a message. It's not an automatic thing. It makes me go to their Facebook page and see what they're doing and stay connected to them. So every month and a half, they've got something, I'm seeing their face in my database. I'm looking at them so that, my biggest fear where this came from was I knew I was walking through this grocery store or the, Walmart or wherever I was shopping, and I knew past clients were walking past me, and I knew they recognized me and they were like, hey, there's Brad Korn, and I'd just walk right past them. And that fear at night at bed, knowing I might have done that and I'm just better than you. I mean, how many people have that impression, right? I couldn't live with it. So I put pictures in the database so I see their face every time it pops up. Whatever you fill in the remaining dashes is irrelevant. I don't care if they read it. I don't care if they see it. I don't care if they open up the envelope, because the calls and the personal touches will keep the relationship. But that other stuff, the note and the other drips, are that bridge that they will actually take your call. So let me tell you what the other issue is. So it's taking time to write it on a piece of paper, and then you can bring it into your database and create it. It might take you a month or 2 months to figure out campaigns. But once you do and once you create it, you just tell it to start. The other part is, now I forgot what it was. I was like going so crazy here. The other part of it is that first connection phone call, because I'm about to tell you how you reconnect with your database. The very first connection phone call will freak people out because you haven't talked to them in so long that those calls can last 20 to 40 minutes, right? Because they're happy you're calling, like you're talking to them and you're connecting, and you haven't been in touch since you sold them their house 4 years ago or 3 years ago or whenever. That first call, it stinks. It's horrible, right? Because it seems so unproductive. They're not buying right now. But that's your reconnection to write the notes, start the plan, and then call them again in 4 weeks and call them again in 8 weeks, right? And then just stay in touch. The 4-week call, the 8-week call, and all the other calls, 2 seconds. 10 seconds to 30 seconds. You're either leaving a message, or it's just like, I'm calling 4 weeks later. It's just like, hey, Chadi, I just want to say it was really great connecting with you. And I just had a blast meeting up with you, and just plan on keeping in touch. And you'll be, it was great seeing you too. We got your note too. That was so nice of you to do that. It's like, oh yeah, no problem. Well, let's keep in touch. Yep, absolutely will. Boom, that was 10 seconds. So every phone call after the reconnect phone call is what I call it, where you're reconnecting with everybody that's on your list, right? That one hurts, but you'll never have another one like it. Never. Until they're ready to list. It's about a 30 to 45 minute listing presentation probably. And those aren't even that long because they like and trust you so much. It's just like, just tell us where to sign, man. We trust you, right? Bye.